Hello everyone, welcome back to Rob's Gaming Table. I'm Rob, and today we are going to discuss and unbox the two new core sets, standalone expansion core sets, whatever you want to call them. I don't think they're really expansions yet. We'll talk about that. But we're going to unbox these bad boys today, take a look at them, and we're going to discuss in the chat, talk about them, look up some things, have some info. I've researched a little bit. So we don't usually do unboxings here, but when I do them, it's like, because it's something special to me, or I'm interested, or something really cool to show you. I don't know if this is gonna be that cool, to be honest. We'll see. It's Dark Souls, the board game, which doesn't have the best reputation. It's something I've had fun with over the years. I'll talk a little bit about our history with the game and our streams and stuff, and our experience through the Kickstarter and all that stuff way back in the day. But hello, Jacob, thank you for rejoining, becoming a producer again for the channel. Thank you for clicking the join button down below and supporting the channel. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hey, Spencer. Addy says, got the Dark Souls card game for Christmas. That game was in my cart a few times, or on my wish list over the years, and I debated, but again, it was like Dark Souls, the board game, kind of like let me down a little bit in some aspects, so a card game version of that. I kind of looked at it, had some cool stuff going for it, but ultimately I just have so many high quality card games and there's so many options out there that like a mediocre card game from the looks of it even with the Dark Souls IP that I love so much, the card game just wasn't enough. I never bit the bullet. Even when it was on sale and stuff, I was like, nope, can't do it. Can't do it. Sure, I could buy it used pretty cheap, but I just like, I don't need a box of more cardboard and paper sitting there that I'm not playing. Marky Clark says, yes, I've been asking Rob about the new core set, plural, on a couple of times on stream. Yeah, I've been interested in them. So full disclosure, thank you to these people adding to the budget of the channel, being able to purchase things over the holidays. I threw these on I think it was Boxing Day. So that's kind of like the day after Christmas in Canada. It's kind of like a second Black Friday. So there's sales and clearances and stuff. So I got these, I think like 10-ish% off, plus at a store that has already good prices. We'll talk about the price of these things, but I purchased it with the funds from the channel. This was not provided by the publisher. I did reach out to the publisher when I heard about these, because you guys started asking about them on the channel. And I was already talking about the publisher about other games, and I said, hey, you got new core sets. We've streamed this game before. My audience is asking about it. Do you have any press copies available? And they said they'd let me know, but they never did. So I just saw these on a deal at my local game store. So I supported my local game store. Some of you have been requesting them, so I used some of the funds to purchase them. Maybe Mel will paint them. I don't know if she'll paint them on stream, we'll see. And we'll most likely play through at least one of them on stream. I know Kyle, who we stream with, he loved playing this game in the past. He is excited to try it again, get back into it. So we'll at least do one playthrough with these. One of them, I don't know, maybe we'll do a poll and we pick one, or maybe we play with both and compare them. But we mainly do live playthroughs here if you're new to the channel. We do live streams, long form content, having a good time with the chat, interacting, hanging out, answering questions, playing along, having a good time, being open and honest to a fault sometimes. So yeah, just keep that in mind as you're watching. This is not a normal unboxing where I'm trying to make it, 10 minutes on YouTube, trying to get the most clicks and all that kind of stuff. So yeah. I do it at my own pace. We'll throw out some info. We're gonna have some fun, rant along the way, open these things, check what's in here, see if it's any good, see if it's garbage. I don't know, we'll find out. But yeah, full disclosure, bought these myself, local game store, not provided by the publisher, just keep that in mind. And yeah. Spencer with his 19 months of being a producer, dropping a super chat, says, just here for the dead air time. I know, that was kind of harsh. So I opened up the chat. It's not subscriber only chat anymore, at least for this stream, because supposedly YouTube fixed the whole porn bots coming in the chat. So I turned off subscriber only chat for this stream. So we might get some randos in here, doing their entitled, I'm on the internet, I'm anonymous, I'll say what I want kind of stuff. But I'm down. It's all good. It's all good. Ripping on me for my long intros before I get to the unboxing. But the best way to get around that is just watch later and scrub right through all that garbage. So yeah. Or not come back at all. That also is awesome. If you don't like what you're watching, hit the dislike button, leave a dirty comment, and go away. I'm good. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, I guess. It's all good. It's all good, man. It's all good. Oh, hello, everybody. Hello, everyone rolling in. Hello, hello, hello. Also, the long intros are usually just really to kill time for everyone to kind of show up. So when I start, the whole class is here, you know? It's like teachers who, like, you know, kind of understand. Some people are running late, weather, car problems, whatever. Sleeping in, long nights, doing exams, whatever. So, yeah, I just try to kill a little time so everyone can rush in. So I don't have to repeat myself and go over the same things later. I still do sometimes, but, you know. I learned if you just click live and start talking right away when no one's there, it's like, what's the point of that? So kind of wait till everyone's kind of in who's interested. And the YouTube alerts sometimes take a few minutes, and then people get an alert and they're in the middle of something, so they'll tune in 10 minutes kind of thing. So just trying to be respectful of people. But yes, if you're here on time, I'm sorry. You have to sit through all this garbage. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. George A says, boo, Steamforge Games. I know. They're not really the most liked publisher, that's for sure. Yeah. And I'll be honest, after I bought Dark Souls, the board game, off Kickstarter, backed it. Yeah, I haven't touched a single product, I think, until this. Yeah, I don't think I've purchased anything of theirs. I've stayed far away. And they were nice enough to send me, when they took over Euthia, there was a mix-up. They didn't send me the prototype for the last Kickstarter or whatever. There was a goof-up. So they sent me, as an apology, so I give them props for this. As an apology, they sent me a copy of Bard Sung, but haven't gotten into that one yet. Probably going to paint that one first, but I don't know if I'll play that one on stream ever, but we have a copy of it. So I know some people were asking about it back last year when we were playing Massive Darkness 2. So yeah, maybe we'll give it a try. Maybe I'll play it once on stream, check it out, but most people around the channel are saying it's like, I might like some things about it, but might not like others. So we'll see. We'll see. So full disclosure, that's what's going on here. Steamforge games, their original game that I knew them from back in the day, like when I first got in the hobby, they were known for some, it's like a Blood Bowl. Is it Blood Bowl that is made by Games Workshop? They basically cloned a game by Games Workshop, like tried to do a Me Too kind of game. It was like a fantasy sports ball kind of game. Somebody in the chat will know what it's called, but that was the original game I heard of them from. And there was a local scene at one of my local game stores. It's now out of business, rest in peace. But I used to go there and they would have a night playing this fantasy. It was like, you know, like it has orcs and goblins and stuff in it, I'm pretty sure. We can look it up, I think. But whatever that game is, I'm not going to look it up, but whatever the game is, that's what I originally knew them for. That's what they got popular on, making these miniatures. It was like a tabletop miniature sports game. Then yeah, we'll get into all their board games. Yeah, but they've done the Resident Evil board game. They're doing like an Elden Ring board game. They've done a bunch of like Sony IPs, I think. They did a bunch of board games for. I don't know. And supposedly a lot of them are mediocre, but again, Horizon Zero Dawn, that's the other one. Yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn is a PlayStation IP, like a Sony IP or whatever. Yeah, they've just done these like big box miniature, kind of like they remind me, and they've always kind of reminded me of a little bit of kind of like the same category of games you would find Cool Mini or Not or Simon Games or whatever making. They're kind of like them. They always come to crowdfunding. Always a big box of miniatures, tons of content, you know. Guild Ball, that's it. Edward, thank you. Guild Ball. Guild Ball was my first experience hearing about them. I remember talking to a store owner at that store, and they had a scene for it. People played it every week, and he was telling me, yeah, it's pretty big. Like it's hard to get the stuff. That's, you know, the distributor was going through it a lot. It was really popular at the time. So I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. That's cool. But yeah, that's all I knew they did really. I'm sure they did other stuff before, but before Dark Souls, I mean. But anyways, all right, let's get to it. I made some notes and things. Let me just check stay on task here-ish. All right, so we can talk about, I guess, the little history of Dark Souls, the board game. Dark Souls, the board game, 2017. So here's my personal history with it, just so you guys understand where I'm coming from about all the comments I'm making today. Anything I say, any little rants happen. I don't know what's gonna happen, but just throwing it out there for those that might come here and maybe just bought this game and are playing this game and have no idea what's going on and don't know about BoardGameGeek.com, don't know about house rules, you know, don't know about the Kickstarter experience of this original game. But back in the year, I don't know what year it was when this was on Kickstarter. Do I have that open? What is this? When was this Kickstarter? I'm not sure when this was on Kickstarter. Maybe 2016, 2015? Not sure. I just see it was supposed to deliver April 2017. Yeah, I don't know. We could probably look at the updates or something. But it did 3 million pounds. I don't know what that converts to US or Canadian or whatever your currency of choice is. But it did a lot. 31,000 backers at the time, okay? This was before, this was like, I guess, getting in when Kickstarter was like really getting going. And I remember I was at work and I heard about this. I was excited because I played Demon Souls, Dark Souls, you know, all this stuff on PlayStation 3. I platinumed, whatever you want to say it. I got the platinum trophies, did all the little side quest trophies, achievements for Demon Souls and Dark Souls. I was obsessed with these games. I remember watching Dark Souls, the video game, footage from Japan because it was out there early. I was watching like Twitch streams in Japanese, like so fascinated by this game because I was so obsessed with Demon Souls, the original game that came out before this, which is very close to it. They just had they had to use a different name, Dark Souls, because Sony owned the IP of Demon Souls, and they ended up making the game through what's the other publisher? I forget the publisher who is the owner of the Dark Souls IP. But anyways, they're all known as Souls games or Soulsborne games. There's all these different games using the same like engine game development style. And the developer is called From Software. And they've made many, many games over the years in the Soulsborne series with all different themes, all funded by different publishers, all on different systems, video game systems and stuff on PC and whatever. But anyways, I was obsessed with Dark Souls. The mix of like the dark fantasy theme, the difficulty, the way it felt like an old school game, but graphically and sound and environment and the atmosphere felt like a new game, you know, but it had that punishing, like not hand-holding stuff that I loved from NES games that I grew up on. And I loved it. It was like the perfect mix. I was obsessed with it. It drove me nuts. This game, Dark Souls, the video game, I was explained to it, Demon Souls, I first was explained to that I should try it because it was like basically a video game made for Zelda fans that were now adults. You know, it's like Zelda for adults, where it's like you're third person running around, you're swinging a sword, and it's got fantasy, but like you're an adult now. Like we're gonna test you and kick your butt. It's not just about the fun and the story. It's not about the hand holding. There's no little fairy to help you along your way. This game is just gonna beat the crap out of you if you wander in the wrong area, or if you first come across a boss, you got to do trial and error. Most of the gameplay mistakes are on yourself. And it was just a game that felt very rewarding because when you actually cleared an area, beat a boss, found something new, you really felt like you earned it. Yes, you may have broken lots of controllers. Your TV might have been smashed. You know, you threw your console in the garbage a couple times, had to buy a new one. This game could be frustrating. The video game can be frustrating. But anyways, I was super obsessed with it. Then when I saw it was on crowdfunding on Kickstarter, I was super excited. But around the same time, Gloomhaven was there. I remember Gloomhaven, this game, and one other game. There was like 3 biggish games I don't remember at the time. But me being a Dark Souls fan, and I only was going to back like one crowdfunding campaign, and I mean back, to this day, this campaign I probably spent the most money on ever in a crowdfunding campaign. I didn't do it all right away though. I was still followed some of Rob's rules and did it smart. If I were to go back, I would have backed Gloomhaven base game and Dark Souls just base game. But what I did was back Dark Souls the base game and a couple of expansions. That sounded cool. Then they delivered the core set only. They delivered it right at the holidays, 5-ish years ago. We streamed it. I was super excited. We played it. It was okay. It was fun. Our group liked it because our group was like into like zombicide level kind of dungeon crawlers at the time. And then this was more advanced. I saw this game actually at Gen Con. I saw the demo of the boss battle and was like, oh man, they got Dark Souls minis, Dark Souls theme, the boss battle, flipping cards and trying to guess what the boss is going to do and working together with the team cooperatively. I knew my gaming group would love it. Super excited. Okay. So instantly I was like, I'm throwing money at this game. I don't know what this Gloomhaven is, never heard of it. And it's just got all these standees and stuff. And over here I'm staring at these miniatures of these Dark Souls bosses that I nostalgically spent hours in the game trying to beat and were super fascinating to me. I love that the whole environments in that game I loved. So now you're giving me a board game, my new favorite hobby. You're giving me my video game in my board gaming hobby. Oh my God. Take my money. Take it. Take it, take it, take it. And Gloomhaven fell to the side. Then we find out later that Dark Souls, the board game, was kind of like mediocre and not really finished and not really play tested and not really fun, and some fun, but not really that fun, and like kind of rough around the edges. And the community had to house rule this game to crap. There's tons of house rule files out there. Go to boardgamegeek.com, click on the file section for this game. You will find house rules we played with on previous streams to make the game better. Across the board, everyone just knew this game was like very mediocre, but it could be fixed. And there's many awesome fans of this game that made the game much better by house ruling it, coming up with lots of modules and little different sections of house rules you can apply that you like or don't like. So I recommend playing this game with house rules. And looking back, we knew it was a problem because when we talk about these core sets today, they worked with the community supposedly to make these core sets a better version of Dark Souls. We'll talk more about that. But going back now, looking, Gloomhaven ended up being the better game. So of course I got in on that on the second Kickstarter round. But for Dark Souls, one of the cool things they did is since they delivered the core set right away, then they were smart. If you liked the core set of Dark Souls, a board game, and my group, we had fun with it. We were still new to board gaming. We were only in the hobby for a few years at the time. It seemed fine to us. It was fine. We were having fun. And then they opened up the pledge manager again, which this happens a lot now, but back then it was kind of a big deal. They were like, sorry guys, we're still working on stuff. It's getting delayed, but you know, we're going to reopen the pledge manager for people who have actually played the game. And if you want to add more, change more, remove stuff, go nuts. And I was like, oh, damn them. Damn them. So I threw a couple $100 more, maybe $300-400 more. I don't even know what I did. But I started buying more bosses, more expansions. I was like, man, I want it all, almost all. I didn't buy everything. Bosses that I didn't care about, I didn't buy. But yeah, I have quite the collection for this game. But then the problem is we backed it and then it got delayed like another year or two after that. So even though they reopened the pledge manager and you thought, okay, things are okay, just a little bit delayed, you're like, that's fine. I got this game. Don't worry. I'm going to get the second wave of stuff and it'll complete the game and make it better. But then delay after delay after delay, a couple years later after already playing the game, then finally all the expansion stuff shows up and it was okay. It made the game better, I think. It was all the stuff that I backed it for. I threw all my money at this game based on the promises of what stuff was in the game, but most of that was hidden in expansions that got delayed for years. So the base game was kind of like mediocre and we're all just waiting for all this cool stuff to add in, like invaders and things, you know? So we got it, we played it. And yeah. Gilles, thank you for clicking the join button. Thank you for being a producer. Yeah, it's From Software. Is some people call them From Soft. I don't know if that's like the official name, but it used to be From Software. I played a little bit of Elden Ring, Matthew. I did buy Elden Ring. I played like a couple hours of it. But yeah, then I'm just busy with stuff and it's like I have to dedicate too much time. And what I've learned, like, again, I learned this, you know, when you're a child, you have all this spare time, you know, in your teens, you spend more time video gaming, you have less responsibilities. Then you become an adult and you have the responsibilities and stuff. But nowadays, playing that type of game, like I want to do it when the second Zelda Breath of the Wild sequel comes, but I don't even know if I'll get to do it, but I want to like play it through, right? Spend a month just playing it and focusing on it in my spare time. But what I find with these, Dark Souls 2, I beat. Dark Souls 3, though, even that game, I kept going to it. I'd spend like, you know, over a while, I'd spend an hour here, hour there, but it was hard to put it down for a week, come back to it, not remember what's going on. Like I do have this problem with board games too, right? I need to like kind of like focus on the game and it's like the only thing I'm doing outside of, you know, work. And I just find I don't have the time, maybe the attention span, I'm not sure what it is, to just like focus on that one game. But I wanted to with Elden Ring so much. And I started playing it and I was like, but you know what it was? I started playing it and it felt like I was just playing another Souls game. So maybe it's like, okay, I've been there, done that. Maybe that's also the excitement of playing another Souls game with big bosses and like similar mechanics and just with a different name. Like, it looks awesome. I watched a bunch of streams of it for a while and was like, okay, I'll just watch some content here and there and kind of like just enjoy it that way. Maybe doesn't mean I won't go back and play through in the future, but I never finished Dark Souls 3. So to me, it's like, well, if I never went back and finished that, and I know I like that IP, and I know I love those gameplay mechanics and stuff, I don't know. Yeah, so I played a bit of Elden Ring. I mean, I loved it. It's awesome, of course. Of course. You know, but yeah, I just didn't stick with it. But yeah. But I debate even going back and playing one of the Demon Souls remake on PS5. I don't have a PS5. I'm like refusing to buy one. But I'm hoping Sony will release that on PC later, like they've released some of their PlayStation exclusives. But I do want to play the Demon Souls remake, the newer, updated version. I would love to go back and play that. And I debated for the Dark Souls like remaster or whatever new edition thing, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I haven't, yeah, I know nothing about Elden Ring, the board game. Obviously, I know nothing about it. It's supposedly on crowdfunding right now, I think, or coming to crowdfunding. But I'll look into that later. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, I want to play that Demon Souls remake. Brian's here. Hello all. Finally, my late lunch paid off and getting to catch a live stream. Welcome, welcome. All right, so that's my history with it, other than we also stream the game. So if you look here, 5+ whatever years ago, yeah, we were streaming that long ago and more. But there's Dark Souls, the board game, where we played through. I mean, do I click on this? Do we see how bad streams used to look on the channel and how far we've come? Thanks to your donations and support, for real. Like, I hope this shows progress. Let's see, let's see. Look at this. Look at this, look at this camera. I got like a camera on the table there with a tripod. Look at this. Ooh, is this even 1080p? What is this? Oh, it's 1080p. This blurriness. Is it even in focus? What is happening here? Look at us just playing at our kitchen table using like the, you know, the sliding glass window as our lighting because I didn't know any better. Oh man, I don't even want to listen to the audio, but yeah, there it is. There's Dark Souls, the board game, on my custom-made table toppers that I built. You know, went to Home Depot, got them to cut the wood, got some spray glue, went to the fabric store, got some felt and batting, and made my own like table toppers to fit large board games on our little kitchen table. Yep, that's what that brown mesh felt stuff is. Yeah, before we had a board game table. It was Rob's gaming boards. I don't know what you want to call those, but yeah. Look at this. Yeah, that's Justin. Yeah, there's Justin. He's been gaming with us since like the beginning. He's been there since we found the hobby in like 2012. He was one of the first players we played Game of Thrones board game with. Yep. Part of our original gaming group. Longtime friend. And then the last time, so if you're curious where I'm coming from, we've streamed, not just play. We played this game off stream too. But there is about 65 hours of streams of this game. You can find that below in the playlist link in the video description. If you want to see us playing through this game over the years, 65 hours we play this game on stream, not counting off stream gameplay, which is probably another 12 to 20 hours at least. But we last played it, get this, we last streamed it. Oh, look at it. There's Justin and Kyle playing it. All right. We last played it in the before times. Look at this date. Look at this date. Right before the world ended. March 16th, 2020. This is why this was the last multiplayer playthrough of this game. We were going to play it more, but then something happened. The world ended, and we were unable to get together for a while. And then obviously we moved on to other games and forgot about it. But this was after getting all the expansion content, throwing it all in, bringing the players back to the table after like 2, 3, 4 years of not playing it. Maybe not, no, 3 years, right, of not playing it. and you know, bringing Kyle back, Justin back to give the game a whirl. So all this just to show you that, like, I've played the game before. We were in there right from the beginning of the game. I've backed it more than I backed any other crowdfunding campaign. I played probably more than most other board games with our board gaming group. Streamed a ton of it. Obviously, there's games we've streamed for more than 65 hours on the channel. But even with its flaws, it's still a fun little dungeon crawler, dice chucking. A little more than a beer and pretzel game. It's actually, like, you know, got some thought to it. But we also put in the house rules to make it even a better game. There you go. But yeah, we even go over the revised house rules that we played with in the stream. They're linked in that video description probably. But yeah, if you're curious about the history of this game on the channel, there you go. That's where I'm coming from. All that as a disclaimer. Oh, there's Justin in the chat. I'm still here. I would love to play this game again. Oh, buddy, don't tease me. Don't tease me. I need to play more board games with you, my friend. What else? I think. Let me check my notes here. Yeah. All right. So now let's get to the business that we're talking about today. So today we're going to unbox and discuss and check it out. Oh yeah, I want to show you one thing. So see this 6.5 rating and the game's only ranked 2,764. Yeah, there's a lot of people unhappy with the game, unhappy with the Kickstarter, unhappy with the publisher, unhappy with delays, unhappy with the value of the game, the miniature quality, component quality, the rules, the errata, the play testing, everything. The way they handle customer service, the way they handle commenters on Kickstarter and responding and stuff and not responding, and lack of communication. They've gotten beaten to the ground here. So a 6.5 rating, I mean, for this game, pretty good. There's going to be a lot of review bombing and that kind of stuff happening, or rating bombing happening on BGG. So just keep that in mind. I might say some not nice things, but it's like, it's not just me. It's like, yeah, but I'll tell you, I still had fun with this game with our gaming group. It's still a decent game, but it needed work. It needed the community to come around and the passionate fans to improve the game. Not the publisher, the fans, okay? Keep that in mind. Dark Souls the board game, Tomb of Giants. So we're going to unbox this today, and we're going to read about what it is based on the marketing materials to understand what we're getting into, so you know what this is. This is not just another expansion for the game. This is not just a new pack of miniatures and some cards so you can add it to your already too much content for the original Dark Souls board game. Because if you didn't know, Dark Souls the board game, the wave 1 of the game or whatever, has Executioner Chariot Boss expansion, Characters expansion, Iron Keep expansion, Phantoms expansion, Darkroot expansion, Asylum Demon expansion, Black Dragon Calamite expansion, Explorers expansion, Gaping Dragon Boss expansion, Guardian Dragon Boss expansion, Manus Father of the Abyss expansion, Old Iron King boss expansion, Fort King boss expansion, Last Giant boss expansion, of the Boreal Valley boss expansion. So just a couple expansions. Just a couple of expansions they released for this game over the years, but just a few. So when they announced this, I was like, what, more? No, you don't need more. But these are actually new entry points to the game. They're new core sets. They're contained. You only need one, and you have enough in there to play a campaign. You have mini boss, main boss, enough characters, I think, to play up to 3 players. Yes, 1 to 3 players. Some of it's re-release content, new rules. They work with the community, supposedly. New designers on the game, I think. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure, though. But yeah. So this has Gravelord Nito and his Skeletor army within the Tomb of Giants. Love that area and hate that area in the game. And then the other one we'll be unboxing is... they made a second core set. So they have 2 of these core sets. They released late 2022, I think. We grabbed them at the end of the year. Yeah, 2022 release dates. You can see people are already rating them pretty low, 6.2, whatever. But yeah, another 1 to 3 players, different characters, different bosses, different enemies, different tiles. So it has everything you need in them, supposedly, to play them. You don't need to own any other Dark Souls stuff. You can just buy one of these and try it out instead of even buying the old core set, which you're probably supposed to do based on the new community-driven rules and improvements to the game, I guess. I don't know. But we're going to play this on the channel. I want to try this out myself. So wait till I play it before I'm going to tell you whether it's great or not, or you should get it or not get it, or if I'd rather just buy the regular core set over this or just avoid it all. I don't know. But again, my opinion is like, take it with a grain of salt, you know. All right. Okay. What are these? Let's find out. Tomb of the Giants core set. Supposedly you confront this iconic boss in a skeletal horde within Dark Souls, the board game Tomb of Giants, featuring new foes, player characters, treasures, event cards, objective cards, and more. Tomb of the Giants gives you an evocative new area to explore from the original Dark Souls video game in a standalone core set containing everything needed for thrilling campaigns in Lordran. Do you dare venture into the deep, dark places of Lordran and confront the terrifying undead? And then the other core set is the painted world of I don't know how to say this. Ariamis? Is it Ariamis? Ariamis? I don't know how to say it, but in this one, description, confront the fan favorite crossbreed Priscilla. Oh, Priscilla. Yes, yes, yes. We remember that. And the rest of the paintings, strange denizens with Dark Souls, a board game, painted world of Ariamis, featuring new foes, player characters, treasures, event cards, objective cards, and more. Painted world of Ariamis gives you an evocative new area to explore. Standalone core set, everything you need. Oh, key features maybe is important. Maybe that explains what we need. So key features for these, they're new core set. Okay, it's a new core set, just a new base game, you can buy it, okay? 18 miniatures, you get a large boss, 3 characters, mini boss, 13 enemy minis, 4 double-sided game tiles, 3 character boards, 3 token boards, 1 campaign dashboard, 1 rulebook, 15 dice, 169 cards, 2 health tiles, and a partridge in a pear tree. Confront an all-new threat with the fan favorite crossbreed, Priscilla, and other creatures inside the painting. The standalone game, this standalone game requires no other purchases to play. Revitalized community-driven rule set. Backwards compatible with existing Dark Souls board game products, which I started investigating this. I saw posts, people complaining about this. We're going to read the publisher's response to this, whether this is true or not true. We'll discuss it later in the video if I remember. But look into that if you're curious about that. I don't know if that's 100% true right now. And over time, I think they're going to release stuff to make this more true, but we'll read. But yeah, we'll see what's inside first. Maybe it's in the rule book explaining that. But there you go. Okay. And also, before we get into it, important information. How much is this damn game? Okay. So if we look here on BoardGameOracle.com, I'm looking at US pricing and availability. Painted World of Ariamis is anywhere from 72 US to like 110. Okay. So when we're opening this box, we're understanding that's what we paid for this. Around that much money. I paid like 100-ish Canadian. I don't know. But, and then the other one is available. Oh, you can get it for as low as $65 all the way up to 110. Okay. So that's how much the box value is. The box value is for one of these core sets. Keep that in mind as we're going through it based on the components, gameplay, replayability, the length of campaigns, what modes are offered, all that kind of stuff. The amount of characters to choose from, those kind of things. So keep that in mind as we're going through this. Also, I learned, this is something to note. As with most board games, the first print run has issues. So as we're looking through it, keep in mind, if you go to the resources section on Steamforged Games website, click on Dark Souls, the board game. I did notice when I was looking for the rule books, I noticed there's an errata and FAQ for this. So FYI, if you're going to buy this game, it's good to know this in advance. But they already released an FAQ and errata, which means misprints. So there are 3, 4, 5, 6-ish cards that are misprinted that you'll need to... I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do for this. Hopefully they release like sticker pack or new card pack they'll send to people. I don't know, but or print and sleeve. I don't know. Print and play. Not sure. Supposedly there's tokens that are misprinted. That's a kind of a big fail. Misprinted tokens. And there's some stats here for the characters. I don't know. Maybe the stats are missing in the game. But just so you know, if you already have this game and you're like, what, this doesn't make sense, or your cards are imbalanced or something, this is on their website, so hopefully that helps somebody and also lets you know in advance. Yeah, Anyways. Anyway. All right. Okay. Oh, okay. Let's see here. What are you guys saying in the chat? Oh yeah, I have a poll going in the chat. Feel free to vote on that. We'll close that in a second. I'm curious. I'm asking you in the poll, if you're watching this live, go to the live chat if you're watching on a phone, mobile, or PC or whatever. You can vote, but I'm just asking, have you played Dark Souls, a board game at all? Either any version, the original, played it at a friend's house, tried it at a board game store, at a convention. Did you like it, not like it? Did you not play and you're interested, or you're not interested at all? You're just hanging out? Go ahead and vote. We'll close that and we'll check the results shortly. Just curious. Just curious. Matthew says, me and my buddy played one of these about a month ago and we had so much fun. Haha. The new core set, that is. Nice, nice. Okay, that's good to hear. Sean R.I.S. asks, remember how badly they screwed up the Dark Souls RPG? I know nothing about that. I can't comment. Not surprised. He says the release of add-ons for this was weird. Kickstarted, got the core, and all the expansions started coming in over the next 2 years compared to how things are delivered today. Yeah. So what happened with the Kickstarter, I think, they got the license, they showed off a demo of the game, it had so much promise, and because of Dark Souls IP, because the boss fight demo they showed off, it just got so much money and stretch goals and all these expansion promises and stuff. People just started throwing money at this publisher, not to mention late pledging, reopen the pledge manager, people started spending even more. So I think this little tiny publisher just got overwhelmed with the amount of now game design stuff, all the expansions, the play testing, the approvals with the licensee and licensor, right? Where they have to like work through the IP holder to get everything approved and make all this stuff and work with the factory and get things under costs and all that. And it was just too much work. And they probably scrambled and started hiring people. People probably quit, you know, the frustration of the fans, realizing now you have all these new customers you have to like answer and respond to, and emails coming in and hiring customer support people and all this. They just bit off way more than they can chew. And I bet they just worked their ass off and eventually were like, we just have to get this game out there, which is why it has flaws and doesn't feel like fully fun and finished and all that stuff, and needed the community pickup. I just feel like they bit off more than they can chew. They took on a way too big of a property, had a way too big of a fan base, took on way too much money, had to then actually deliver based on that money, and it just took way too long. And in the meantime, this is the worst part, they're then working on other crowdfunding campaigns and other games they're supporting and new games they're working on. So I feel like they also kind of put the skeleton crew on the game to kind of roll it out. So maybe they didn't put too many resources on this game. They were now also maybe bit off more than they can chew, maybe needed money. So then they started doing what we see some publishers who go out of business, or some publishers who are just struggling. They take on Kickstarters that end up poorly project managed and poorly planned, that they don't make enough money on them. And then inflation and the world economy changes, cost of goods changes. And then they just need to come out with another game, and they rush out other games to try to just recoup some funds and help pay for the original project. So maybe that's why Resident Evil board game and Horizon Zero Dawn and all these other games, maybe those aren't as great because, and people don't like them as much. Maybe those were just used to help keep the company afloat. So they just, you know, keep pumping out these games and trying to rush them to still catch up. I don't know, but this is like sometimes we see this happen with publishers where they're like not delivered a game yet, but then they're talking about their next crowdfunding campaign. And you're like, where's my other 6 games I backed? You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing over there? So yeah, it's just interesting. It's interesting. But yes, Sean R.I. says, honest question, does Steepforge have any actual cred anymore? It feels like they've been screwing up everything lately. Yes, and even I said, I vote with my wallet. You fool me once, whatever, fool me twice on me, whatever that whole saying is. But then these new core sets came out and you guys keep asking about them. Other players, people who watch Dark Souls on our channel, and people who love the fantasy games, the dungeon crawlers, the story games, whatever. The campaign, I should say. Campaign games we play on the channel. I just keep getting messages and asked about it, and people keep bringing it up, and I say, I want to try them. I ask Mel. Mel says, I want to paint them. I want to play them. I ask Kyle. He wants to play them. So it's like, okay, I'll try them, and we'll see. Maybe they suck. I'll take one for the team too, right? But thank you all for your support, allowing me to buy games like this, even though I'm like not sure about them. And I have a history of it, and people want to know my opinion too on this stuff because they've watched us play the other stuff. So I'm not, because I'm unboxing these, please don't go out and buy them just based on me having them on the channel. Like, watch us play through it at least, you know, and make your own decisions. But I'm not saying support this company. I've never said that. I just say I vote with my wallet. If a publisher I feel like just doesn't treat their customers right, or, you know, they get some great IPs, they make some cool looking miniatures, but yet again, have they ever made like a great game? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure. They're still trying though, which is cool. I'm sure they have new employees there, new designers, and they're trying, you know. Yeah, Matthew says, I mean, they bailed out the Euthia people, so I'd say that's some good cred. Yeah, that's good on them. And again, I don't know who's still there. I don't know if it's the same publisher it was back in like 2017, 18, 19. You know, maybe they have all new people there. You know, maybe they're trying different things. I don't know. I'm not sure. Yeah, it's interesting to hear some of you guys' comments in the chat. Brian Van Beek says, nope, I rely on all of your gaming decisions. It's all your fault. At least that's what I tell my wife. Oh, man. Oh, Resident Evil 3 was great, says Marky Clark. And I think their highest rated game. Well, that's good. Again, I haven't played them all, so I don't know. I just go based on like ratings and what I read online and stuff, and like reviews on BGG and things. Not the ratings, but reviews. But yeah. I like Resident Evil games, but after Dark Souls, it wasn't enough to make me jump in just based on an IP. I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. Doesn't mean I won't go back. Doesn't mean if I find Resident Evil 3 on sale at a local game store, you know, or at a convention, I don't buy it and try it. I don't know. We're not all about the new hotness, you know. I don't mind playing games from like 5, 8 years ago, whatever. If they're good and the deal's there, maybe I play them. Just a gamer like the rest of you guys, you know. Anyways, all right. Have we killed enough time? 42 minutes of dead air. Now we're ready to get into the games. All right. So I'm going to close that poll. Just when you thought I was going to start unboxing, we're going to talk about a poll. All right. So closing the poll. Thanks to everyone that voted. 43%. I asked in the poll, started it before the stream started. Have you played Dark Souls, the board game? 43% say no, but I'm interested. 32% say no, I'm just here to hang out. 16% say yes, and I liked it. And 7% say yes, and I did not like it. So not that many people watching right now who've even played it. That's cool. Good to know. I was just curious who I'm talking to. It's all good. It's all good. All right. Now I'm going to do another poll. Very important. This is the most important poll, especially for those that can't hang out the whole stream. But again, you can come back later and watch, right? But if you want to hang out and see one first, which game to unbox first? Painted World or Tomb of Giants? All right, super important poll. I'll put it up for a minute in the chat, but which one are we unboxing first? That's the serious, super important decision we must make today. It's not whether the minis are cool or the components are great or there's a lot in the box. The most important thing we need is to find out which one to unbox first. Steph says I vote for the core set. You son of a... Damn it. So yeah, go ahead and vote. I'll leave that up for a minute and then we'll close it up. Okay. Yeah, Matthew's saying, I think they make good, fun, turn off your brain type games, which we call beer and pretzel games around here. They don't make great games, but they still are fun in my opinion. That's a good way I could describe Dark Souls, the board game, my experience with it. We had some good beerish pretzel, but a little more thinky, a little more strategy to it. Playing the original game with the house rules and the theme. It was great. Like the game looks good on the table. The components were cool. I don't know. It's a cool game. But yeah, it wasn't great. It wasn't great, but it's a good game and it's fun. Like I definitely had fun with it. Are there better dungeon crawlers out there if you don't care about the Dark Souls IP and you just want a fantasy dungeon crawler? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you can spend your money on many other dungeon crawlers that feel a little more solid and play tested and fun, and the content's more substance to it, and strategy, less luck, all that kind of stuff is there. But if you like the luck, there's dungeon crawlers that are more full of luck, all different themes and stuff. Yeah, Matthew says Descent for one. That's what I want to see in the chat. Right now, anyone watching, I want you to drop your favorite fantasy dungeon crawler, if you have one. Right now, I just want to hear them all in the chat. Just drop them. I'm curious. I'm curious. What's your favorite fantasy dungeon crawler you've ever played? I need to know. So far, we have Descent from Matthew, but that might not be his favorite. So feel free to drop those in the chat. All right, which one are we unboxing first? Gloomhaven does count. Yes, Gloomhaven is a dungeon crawler. It's definitely like a Yuri puzzle dungeon crawler. It's still a dungeon crawler though. I'm still going through dungeons, beating bad dudes up, upgrading my hero or mercenary, whatever. So we're unboxing the Painted World. 55% of the vote. Tomb of the Giants after. Okay. Black Cheval, good to see you again. Says Madara or Myth? Myth. I know nothing of Myth. I think I looked at that once before it was brought up on chat, in chat on a stream. I've not played. Sword and Sorcery, says Necrocomicon. Yeah, that's probably up there as one of my favorite for sure. I do love the Sword and Sorcery series. But yeah, Gloomhaven is up there also. Too Many Bones is not a dungeon crawler. It's more like an adventure game. But I mean, it's similar. Like, I don't know. Yeah, you're not really... I wouldn't say that's a dungeon crawler. It's more like an abstract adventure game kind of thing. It's its own little beast. KDM gives me biggest Dark Souls vibe, not a dungeon crawler though. Yeah, and that's the thing. That's the thing why people keep recommending Kingdom Death Monster to me and I keep refusing. I got close. I almost clicked the buy button once. Because I love the battling in Dark Souls, the boss fights. They're like my favorite thing. They're the reason I spent hundreds and hundreds of dollars on this series. Probably like $1,000 now after buying these two things. I don't know how much I spent on it, but a lot. Okay, a lot. Maybe it's not that much, but it was a lot. Plus shipping and all that, and Kickstarter upcharge and all that. But yeah, I love the boss battle part of it. So when I see all these boss battlers coming out, you know, based on the KDM kind of hype, like Oathsworn and stuff, it's like, oh, I must love it because of that. But I need the dungeon crawling aspect to it too. I like the idea of dungeon crawling through rooms, simulating the board game or the video game experience of working your way there, finding loot, getting ready for the boss battle, and having that, you know, that build up to the final like mini boss or final boss battle in this game. I love that idea. I love fighting little minions and that kind of stuff along the way. It's fun. Fun. Yeah, it takes longer. Yeah, you maybe can't do it all in one session, but I love it. I love the idea, the like framework of this game. Like I like games like that. Like same with Sword and Sorcery, right? You're working your way through the dungeon puzzles and the story and meeting characters on the way and trying to get things done and maybe discovering different things every time you play. And then you get to a boss fight at the end to kind of finish off the scenario. I love that. Love it, love it, love it. Love that kind of play. Dungeon crawlers are awesome. I love them for that purpose. But yeah. Yeah, we got Madara, Tiny Epic Dungeons. Dan saying DUN. Is that like the Dungeon Universalis or whatever? Is that what that's short for or something? Dan, what's DUN stand for? I know people like that whole thing. That whole, like, we looked at that on stream. My God, that... Whatever that thing is, that's like not a game. That's like, I don't even know. That's a lifestyle. That's what that is. Applefenia says, talking about dungeon crawlers, I just finished the campaign for Descent, Legends in the Dark. And the last scenario left a sour taste in my mouth. Oh, go leave your comments on our final playthrough of that. There have been people over the last year who have been leaving their experiences, and you can see our experience. I don't want to spoil anything, but now that you've played it, go check our last episode of that playlist, and you'll see there's other people in the comments who've been giving us their feedback. I thought they would patch it and improve it over, but I don't know. I thought we did something wrong too in our playthrough, but yeah, I don't know. Just fell through at the end a little bit. But overall, I still had many hours of awesome fun in that game, and I cannot wait to play more on the channel. Marky Clark says, have to dip out of the stream. Do you have any idea of when you're going to stream these officially? No. And the reason why, A, we're going to play some other games. B, I still have to make the decision on Mel wants to paint this, but I don't know if I care for her to paint it. Like maybe we just play it quicker, just get it out of the way, try it and throw it on the shelf. Like I would love to see Dark Souls miniatures painted. That is one game that Mel keeps bringing up. She'd like to do for me because we used to play it before Mel got into painting. And I love just Dark Souls, the IP. So even if she just painted some of the boss minis and they were on a shelf, like that would just make me feel good. You know, wake up, look at that on a shelf somewhere in my house would be cool. But if we're only going to play like one of these core sets one time on stream, which realistically could be a thing, because we've already played so much of this game and I have other games I want to try too, that could delay it for like weeks as she's working through painting them, you know? So I don't want to put pressure on her, but obviously if we don't paint it, could be played in a couple weeks. If she does paint them, maybe in a month or so. I don't know. Again, it's always different. I don't even know what's in here yet, how many minis and stuff. We'll find out today. So I can't promise when we'll play it. But if you are looking for the playthroughs of this game, you're watching this stream later, check the video description in the playlist for Dark Souls. We'll just put them in there. So once they're scheduled or they've happened, just check the playlist down below. Oh, okay, Dan, it was Dungeon Universalis or something, right? I don't know exactly. I probably am saying it wrong or whatever, but. Oh, Black Cheval says, my honesty isn't in a great spot, so wouldn't recommend buying it. Oh, Myth, honestly, isn't in a great spot, so wouldn't recommend buying it. It's cool if someone else has it. Oh, okay. Okay, thank you. Yeah, okay, I won't touch it. Yeah, too many other good stuff to play. Like, yeah, if a game's just like flawed in a way, like, yeah, we'll just play something else. Too many great games, not enough time, for sure. Yeah, some cool games. Okay. George says, I'd like to try Alter Quest. Speaking of publishers that don't really care about their customers. Rest in peace. Minion number Q says, I did like the idea of Madara for the dungeon crawling. I love the dungeon crawling Madara, especially with the hidden info. Just didn't like that the game was, just didn't think the game was fully developed enough for my liking. And Tara says, Madara lacked in the upgrade system. Once you got the best weapons, etc., it almost wasn't worth playing anymore. Yeah, we kind of lost interest in Madara after a while. But I did love the actual dungeon crawling aspect of it. Again, the theme wasn't really there for me, but that's just a personal thing. But yeah, we like what we played of it. It's definitely cool. Just the story part, I was like, eh. But yeah, it definitely just felt like a heavy an anime clone of Sword and Sorcery. And they said they were very much inspired by Sword and Sorcery making that game. But I still think Sword and Sorcery does it better. But yeah. All right, let's unbox this guy. So I took off the shrink wrap. Obviously, anyone who's new here, studio lighting all around me. The shrink wrap drives me nuts. The reflections, the focus issues. So I just took the shrink wrap off, but I have not opened these. So here we go. Here we go. Painted World of Ariamis? I don't know how to say it. Again, the game didn't have voice acting to tell me what it was called that I know of. I don't remember it at least. Oh, nice feeling rule book. We got a cool rule book here. Let's go through the rule book. Holy, why is the font this small and not spread out on the page? Come on, you don't have more room on the page? That's it. Horrible game. Avoid. All right, what do we got in here? Oh, this is one thing I heard of. So if you already have expansions for the first game, they have reused characters. So even though it said all new content, not everything is new. The Deprived, the Sorcerer, and the Mercenary. I'm pretty sure I've played with all these in the game before. Although they now have like new boards and things for the new gameplay mechanics. So they're kind of like newish, but we've already seen them in the game before. So I bet they have like the same items and stuff. I know, Matthew, I know. No, I know. I know, I took the shrink off in advance. I'm horrible, I know. But again, I can't sit there watching the camera try to focus on the glare off of the shrink wrap. It drives me nuts. I can't do it. So I just rip it off right before the stream. I did it. Should have like a Yeah, maybe like a short where I rip it off before. Okay, we have crow demons, phalanx hollows, engorged zombies. Sexy. Oh, yes. See, these are one of my favorite and most hated and most memorable enemies. The bone wheel skeletons. I think they're one of the coolest enemies in games, but my God, do I hate these mother effers. Holy crap. They led to throne controllers for sure. Or vulgar, you know, words coming out of my mouth at the TV. And oh, look at the cute little rat. Oh, little cute rat. Okay. And then it looks like I'm assuming mini boss. Yeah, mini boss is the heavy knight. We can weigh him maybe and find out how heavy he really is, because I think Priscilla's heavier. So we'll see. I don't know how heavy he really is, but that doesn't matter. I'm just kidding. Then we have Crossbreed Priscilla, who is the main boss or whatever. Yeah, main boss they're called. Mini boss, main boss. So in this game, you play a campaign. You play some lower level scenarios. Then you go to a mini boss fight. You beat the mini boss. You get some of his weapons and equipment. And then you play some harder scenarios, some higher level scenarios. And then you fight a main boss. And that's kind of it. But I know they've changed that up a bit in here. You also can play standalone stuff too in the base game, the original game. I know you can just play standalone things. And then there was house rules to just play the boss fights and things like that. If you want to just play really standalone of certain aspects of the game. Here's our treasure deck cards are a thing. I feel like they probably reused some of that stuff, but we're going to look at some cards, some dice, some holy tokens, Batman. Holy tokens, Batman. What is all this? Oh, we got a spark dial. We got 4 double-sided game tiles and a campaign board. So the campaign board's a new thing. That's a new thing. Interesting. Shortcut token? Invisibility token? Torch tokens? Lever tokens? What is all this stuff? What is all this stuff? Oh, cool artwork. Matthew says, F those bone wheel jerks. Yes, yes, yes. How does the rulebook taste? Oh, that's important. I can smell it. I'm not licking it, though. Oh, it smells good. Their stuff's printed in a good factory, that's for sure. It's good quality stuff. Oh, it smells good. Hold on. Hold on. Yeah. They get their stuff printed on good cardboard, good ink. Yeah. It's good stuff. Good smells. Good aromas all around, in my opinion. All right, the character boards. There is some different stuff here. I have the original game near me. We can like compare some stuff once we get some components out. And I do have notes. I read online in company articles, posts on BGG and stuff, trying to figure out what's different from the base game. We can go over that in a little bit after we look through this. But the rulebook, the PDF is online if you want to read through any of this stuff to see what's different and how the game works. It is a 31-ish page rulebook, just for out of curiosity. And there's the size of font and all that. Just so you know, 31 pages, you know, for a complexity, learning, all that kind of stuff. Rewards, event cards? Event cards are new, I'm pretty sure. Conditions, we know conditions. Oh, I remember those. Enemy data cards, yeah, we know that stuff. Weapons. Enemy attacks. Phalanx hollows and the phalanx respawning enemies, okay. Returning to the bonfire. We got resting at a bonfire, the firekeeper, blacksmith Andre. Purchasing treasures, changing equipment, upgrading equipment, resuming exploration. Oh, can we save the game at any point? No, that's about just resuming after visiting the blacksmith. Boss encounters. Boss encounters work different than regular encounters. The boss has arcs. Boss turns, unique boss special rules, defeating bosses. And we got some reference on the back of the rule book. Look at all those little symbols. Enemy movement, attacks, how to read their cards. Now, this is dumb. They did this in the other game too. Like, thanks for putting the conditions there, but I don't need to know what the symbols mean. I need to know what the conditions actually do. So that should be there. Things like that. They should definitely just put that there for quick reference. Because I remember even having a sticky in the base game on this page to go look at these every time we forgot these, like what they did when we came back. You just start to remember them after a while. It's not that many. But still, you play a bunch of other dungeon crawlers, you pull this one out and you're like, oh, what does Poison do in this game again? Because it's different in every damn game. All right, cardboard time. Rot Huffing Ink Live, you betcha. Yeah, that's what I do when I'm unboxing not on stream. That's why I don't do it, because, you know, then I'll turn into the unboxing channel, become a druggie, you know, get addicted, all that stuff. So please sniff responsibly, okay? Sniff responsibly. So this is a pretty long, this is interesting. This is the campaign board. Can't fit it all on the camera because I zoomed in, whatever, but yeah, you supposedly work your way along through here. You'll get shortcuts. You fight the mini boss. So based on your scenarios, they're like randomly drawn from cards, is my understanding. Then you fight the mini boss. Then you continue along. You know, your party tokens on here. You have the market up here. Your item deck, your storage, whatever, where your souls are kept. We know that from the original game. Your bonfire tokens probably here. I don't know. I guess that's like your souls reward or something for beating the scenarios. I don't know what that number is about, but then a timer token of some kind that goes along this track, I think, I would assume. Don't know what that is. Probably an event deck or something. And if you like playing on dark mode, you just flip this over, and then you have to guess what's happening. This is the dark mode version of the board. Just kidding. All right. Cool. I mean, the thickness of that, not bad. It's not the thickest cardboard board, but I don't know if we can get it to focus. There you go. All right, we got cardboard. Sheets and sheets. Oh, we got shrink wrap. So we'll pull that off. Look at the glare. Let's look at the camera. All right, game tiles. We see similar nodes. We recognize these nodes. These just help you with setup, but characters, you can have a bunch of minis on a node. I think there's a limit of like 3 miniatures or something on a node. This helps you with setup. There's entrances to the room, and then you move from node to node, and that helps with positional strategy, I guess, tactics to like fight the enemies and dodge attacks and stuff. But they're dual-sided. There's the mini boss arena, I think, because it doesn't have the crown thing on it, right? And yeah. Oh no, maybe this is mini boss? Maybe that's mini boss. Yeah, sorry. This is mini boss? That was a crown. Oh yeah, it's there. It's just small. That's the main boss. This is main boss. Yeah, you fight her in the tower, right? Yeah. I remember this. You fight her on the tower. She's the one that like goes invisible and stuff, right? It's been a long time. Been a long time. All right, so here's the player boards. Okay, I see why in the FAQ. Makes sense. It makes sense why they put this in the FAQ. Because on these punch outs, they printed on the punch out the number and not on the actual board. That's a big F up, no? And that's why they printed these out in an FAQ so you can have this paper near you while you play. That's a fail. What is that? What is that? Hold on. Let's get the original game going. I have stuff like in little tackle boxes and things. So this box doesn't even fit on the top. I have stuff in expansion boxes. So here's the original character board. Here's an original character board for the sorcerer. Yeah, see? The numbers are beside the hole. Oh, man, look at it. They're trying to cut costs. They're trying to cut costs. They make the board smaller, and they screwed up. Just so they can make the box smaller. The box is a lot smaller. The box is a lot smaller than the original game. It's about the same width and whatever. It's just not as tall. But that does save money on container shipping and stuff, right? Yeah, what the heck? Matthew says you would punch them out and turn them over, and the number were one where gold and on where gold instead. Oh wait, what? What the hell? Okay. Oh, this is messed up. What happened to the cubes, man? So I'm supposed to know that because this is gold, this is the level I'm at. That's how many souls that costs to be at that level. And you're telling me when I go to buy this level with my souls and I upgrade, I punch this out? And I expect that this cardboard is not going to wear out over time because it's just cardboard. Like it's thin. These will wear out, no problem. And I'm supposed to stick that in there like a puzzle. And then I'm supposed to pop this one out and then put this in. And how am I doing that without picking up my board and knocking off tokens? What is this? No way, really? This is how I'm supposed to track this? You guys are joking. No way. What if I lose? That's why they put in FAQ. What happens if I pop this out, it comes out in the box, and I pick this out and there's a few missing? How am I supposed to remember where they go, right? I have to get that FAQ. Oh my God, that's crazy. Why? This is to save cost. This for sure is to save cost. And table space maybe, but you still have to put your cards beside it, right? This one, you just put your cards on the board. This one, you put your cards beside the board. So it's like, you're not really saving table space. So scratch what I just said. But I guess less big random art taking up table space. So there's no cubes in here, right? There are no cubes in here. You can buy cubes, I'm sure, though, right? Can we not buy cubes if you don't? I'm thinking about the people, if I'm saying this is a core set and everything is here to play, technically it is, but like, why is it downgraded? Okay, so we have cubes. I have cubes here from the original, okay? Do they fit? Do they fit? So am I supposed to use these too? I don't throw these out, right? These, I need this. What is this foot? And a skull? What the hell am I playing? What did they do here? Who approved this? Who play tested this and said, yes, this is a good idea? Oh man. They saw Terraforming Mars player boards and they said, hold my beer. We can make it worse. Jesus. Okay, the cubes fit. They fit. Yeah, because like I'm supposed to pick this up every single time, hope the little tokens don't pop out, which they do fit tightly right now. But if I play like 100 hours of this game like I did the original one, these are going to fall out, right? You're going to be pushing them and they're going to wear out. And it's paper. Wow. Because you have to pick it up too to push through. Like, holy crap. What were they thinking? If I knew this was a thing, I probably wouldn't even bought these for real. I would have not even touched this game. That's how little I need to just be like, pass. Yeah, that's crazy. Too many great games, man. Too many great games. This kind of junk does not need to happen. But again, I have the cubes. But like, you can't expect everyone to already own the cubes. Maybe they were thinking only people who own Dark Souls are going to buy this, so let's not make the cubes, you know? Wow. Wow. Okay. Again, I haven't played with it. Maybe this is not as big a deal as I'm making it. Keep that in mind. But like, I did not expect a downgrade. Again, you have to keep in mind though too, on playing devil's advocate, the cost of components, weight, shipping, paper, all that stuff has gone up. So they probably wanted to keep it around like the $100 MSRP or whatever. And they were like, To make it fully playable, we have to cut some stuff and make the box smaller, you know, so we can't include certain components. But don't worry, most of our fans already have those components with their original game. So we don't need to, and we'll come up with a system that works without them for the players that don't have them. But this feels very temporary. This feels very half-assed and temporary. Jackpot Man with the super chat for some extra cubes. Does it look like I need extra cubes? All right. I don't need extra cubes. That's not the problem. But there are some players out there who will buy this as their first experience, and this is the experience they're getting. Lame, lame, lame. Wow. I'm just like floored. Really, I'm floored. What the hell, man? That's so weird. Okay, let's put away the old stuff. Okay, so there's your comparison of character boards. We'll keep this nearby, though, just in case we need to compare anything else. Okay. Wow. Wow. I'm not crazy, right? That's like really dumb, right? I mean, anyone played it and found that okay, that system? Or were you instantly like, this is garbage, let me go get my cubes? Or let me find a solution? Yeah, wow. Whoever let this get out the door should be fired for real. The person who designed this and came up with this solution, and the people who clicked OK, you know, approved it to be printed and delivered and sent out the door. Like, this is like, either they got their head up their ass and they're not in touch with the actual players, or they're like new to the hobby, or like they're not aboard, like they're the CEO or whoever like said this was okay, you know, they're not like, they're from another industry, they're not like in board gaming, you know. I don't know what happened there, but that's a messed up thing. I find that offensive. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, the tokens look good though, except for the misprinted ones. I remember this token wearing out from our other one. We use it so much. I remember like handling it and it kind of wore out. So maybe we need to use some nail polish to protect the tokens if we're going to play this a bunch. But again, I don't care, because by the time you played it a bunch, you move on to other games realistically. So it doesn't need to stay perfect. Okay, I'm not going to punch all this stuff out, but you know, it's there. What are you guys saying? Sean says they're not blacklist games bad, but they're in the ballpark. Oh no. Oh, Matthew says I played it. It was horrible. I immediately went and got the cubes. Yeah, I have to, right? I'll play it once without them. But like, I don't even know if I can stream playing with those things. Like, oh my God. What are they doing? What are they doing? Oh my God, what are they doing? Anyways. Wow. All right. I know some people might think I'm making a bigger deal, but like, come on, man. Come on, man. Okay, we got an insert this time. Oh, we had some inserts, but I think the inserts before were not the greatest, and some of them maybe were only in expansions. We have some inserts for minis. What is happening here? Oh, I see. So there's an insert on the top. Is there tape? Oh, there's tape. Derp-a-derp. Not like I've never really opened games with miniatures in them before. These guys are cool. Oh, they feel like different plastic, I think, than the original game. But I still think they could have bendy parts, but it does feel more brittle. It does feel more brittle than mushy. It does feel like a better quality plastic, like a more brittle plastic. Lighter and more brittle. Similar to the plastic from Descent Legends in the Dark, or you find on Games Workshop minis, but still not fully there. But it's definitely not the mushy, misshapen, bent sword stuff that we've seen before. See if I can get this to focus. Man, everyone remember like a bunch of these guys coming at you throwing spears in the video game? Trolling you? Yeah, I've seen this guy before. That's the sorcerer, right? The depraved or deprived, whatever. Deprived. I think that sword is supposed to be the curved, like a scimitar, right? But it is a little bent, actually. It is a little not straight, so I could have been wrong. These feel different plastic. Yeah, the characters are different, I think. Yes. Just kidding. I have no idea. Yeah, you stayed long enough. You saw me lick the minis. I feel like this is a squishy plastic. This is soft, squishy plastic. This is brittle, lighter plastic. If that makes any sense to you, I'm not an expert with miniatures. But this is different plastic than this. So these, you will get bent swords. These in miniatures, you'll get bent swords like the original one. These you won't. Straight as an arrow. Okay? Hopefully that makes sense to you. If you played enough games, you know what I mean, right? Oh, these feel like soft plastic though. Yeah, maybe it just depends on the miniature. So these ones, because they have long parts coming off, they went with the brittle light plastic. And these ones, because they're more solid blobs, yeah, these are the soft plastic. So it just depends on the model. Depends on the model. Yeah. Okay. And then there's another insert little layer. That's cool, right? Oh, only 2 of these guys? Oh, well. No spikes though, right? Aren't they supposed to have spikes? I guess that'd make it a dangerous way. I feel like they had spikes all around the wheels, but I mean, still gives me the same PTSD. These guys rolling around in that cave. He's like posing for a picture. Hey, bro. Look at this top heavy guy. Holy. I don't know if this guy's gonna be able to stand up. Feels like he's gonna tip. Yeah, he's definitely top heavy. What the hell is this? Oh my god. Sexy. Spikes would make them into skeleton shurikens. Shuriken. Hey, let's do these bird guys. These look cool. These look cool. Stuff made of nightmares right there. Mel watching. This is like Mel's worst nightmare right here. One of these waking up, and one of these is like dancing around your bedroom. Oh man. Hello, Archeon. I'm not saying it right, I know. Hello. And we got the heavy knight. Yeah, he's pretty heavy. The shield is heavy. Looks like a kind of tower knight shield going on there. Yeah, that's cool. Definitely a better quality, I feel like. More detail, but again, this is going on memory. But I could just look, I guess, right? I have some minis right here. This is the original Dark Souls. Bendy axe and all. Hot water required. I don't know, maybe it's similar actually. Yeah, maybe it's similar. I don't know, there is detail on these two. I just feel like this is more detailed, but I think they're similar actually. They probably printed them in the same place, but maybe some techniques have improved over the years. I don't know. But yeah, they fit. Oh, they're not using the plug through the bottom method now. So the miniatures attached to the base different, I guess. New technology, shinier base. Then we got Priscilla. Yeah, the bases they use are different for sure. This shiny base feels weird, but it feels like it's on there more. Feels a little more solid. I don't know how that makes any sense, but you get what I'm saying. That's cool, right? We got our things for the dials. Okay. Got some cards. The cards look the same, feel the same-ish. Hopefully they are compatible and shuffleable in and stuff, whatever. But I guess you play with them just separate anyway, because they're individual enemies. Right? For these bosses, at least. Yeah. Graphic design, feel like from memory, 2 years ago, feels the same. We can look at some, I think. Hey, buddy. Bone wheel skellies. Oh, the cards smell like ass, though. FYI. They get the cards printed in the stinky place. Yeah. Cards smell gross. Cardboard, though, tokens, all good. Rulebook, amazing. But the cards, if you're buying this game just for the smells, yeah, the cards, Crow Demon. Crow Demon. Phalanx. Phalanx Hollow. Sebastian, yes, we bought both sets. We're unboxing this one first because those who showed up on time were able to vote, and we decided to open this one first, but the second one will be open shortly. Yes, we did buy both. Thank you again for all the support you guys give to the channel. Super chats, join button down below, Patreon, all that stuff. I appreciate it. Thank you. We would not have this on the table without that. Just FYI. I'm sorry I spent your money this way, though, if you're not happy about that. I do apologize. I can't please everyone, but thank you for the support. My local game store thanks you also. We got extra baggies. All right, here's the dice. More dice. I definitely have extra dice, that's for sure. I definitely have extra dice from the first game. Yeah, they look the same. Custom dice for the game. Yeah, anyone who recently watched us play Massive Darkness, like, it's funny, the same colors for the increasing dice, I think it was that game. Anytime I see a game where they use the black, the blue, and the orange, I'm sure other games did it before this game, but this was my first game where I experienced that kind of dungeon crawly escalation dice. And we see this used in other games, almost the exact same colors. Yeah, rounded edges. Always like the rounded edges for rollability. What we got here? Yeah, okay. These I was reading about. Okay, this is something new, right? We didn't have this in the other game. I'm pretty sure it was a little different, right? And do this without wrecking the cards. Oh, these are probably printed somewhere else because they're packaged different. So maybe these ones will smell good. They smell better, but still kind of assy. Just so you know, for anyone keeping track. So these are, hold on. What are these? These are encounter cards. Encounter cards. So each encounter, so it sets up the tile. We've seen this kind of stuff before. But now they have like special rules, rewards on here, objectives, painted passage, no safe haven. So I think based on the level, you shuffle these up and you draw one, and it could set up the each tile with a little more thought put into the game to make it more replayable, more interesting. But supposedly these are a decent improvement. But again, I haven't played it. We'll try them out on stream, of course. We'll play through it. We'll give it a run. Try to get Kyle involved too. So we have 3 people at least playing in our playthroughs live on the channel to get a little more feedback, because our memories aren't the greatest. I don't want to go back and play with the original rules at all. And my memories are mostly with the revised house rules from the community. So we'll just play this kind of standalone and see if it's any good. Like, see how it plays compared to games in 2022, 2023, you know? Like, does this hold up? Did this make it more interesting? Did they not only improve the original Dark Souls game, but actually, like, not just, you can't just play this and compare it to old Dark Souls board game. You have to play this, and hopefully they are paying attention to what else is happening in the industry and trying to actually make a great game compared to other games that are out there, you know? Because it's not just about fixing the base Dark Souls game, it's actually like making a great game in general. So hopefully this stuff helps bring it up to speed. But again, I'm not holding my breath. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, so there's just a whole bunch of these. Oh, look at all this setup on this. Oh, so there is. I thought you only do one tile at a time, but sometimes they have 2 tiles. Oh, okay. Okay. Interesting. That's different. Because before you would just set up like the 5 or 6 tiles, right? And you just play through them however way you want. But in this one, you have to go through the campaign, right? You have to go each encounter by encounter. And I guess some encounters can have 3 boards. That's neat, right? I mean, it probably makes the game take way longer, but I mean, you don't have to do it in all one sitting probably, right? I would hope not. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Cool, cool, cool. George says, I don't mind the old game. I got the Kickstarter, so it was great value for money with all the content. Yeah, it was not bad value for sure. It's grindy and long, but I liked it back when I had 4 to 5 hours to play games. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I don't know if this makes it more condensed, makes it longer. Again, like, what's the standalone mode in this one? Can you make it more of a, you know, 2 hour or less play session? I'm not sure. And George says, it's just hard justifying putting it to the table now that I have much better games that I don't have time to play. Yeah, I totally understood. That's why I'm kind of curious to go back. Like, it's interesting to play a game so much and then see, like, here's a second chance at redoing it. Like, I'm curious. Like, that's a real reason I bought these, mainly out of curiosity, right? I just want to see. I just want to see. I want to see. My bar is set low, though, I'll be honest. I want to see what they got going on here. I'm not expecting to be blown away, but if I have some fun on stream gaming with Mel, Kyle, and you guys, and we're just having fun playing it, rolling some dice, trying to dodge the enemies or kill a bunch of baddies, try not to get squashed by the boss. I mean, that's where my bar is set. I'm just expecting to have some beer and pretzel fun with it. I'm not expecting to be blown away like Gloomhaven level of brain burny, puzzly, you know, content. I'm not expecting that at all. You got to set your expectations, guys. So we got like, okay, this is one deck, a little deck of cards, okay? One deck of cards. We got a second one here. So they give you lots of mini cards, which you expect from the game. Which are like all your items, weapons, you know, armor, some other stuff, I'm sure. What else? What else is it? While I'm trying to open this. Oh, event cards are in here somewhere too. Did I miss those? Oh, did I miss event cards? Are they full size or? Because this is all just enemies. Hold on, maybe they're small. Because I'm seeing there's treasure deck. So 30 class specific treasure cards, 42 common treasure cards, 15 legendary treasures, and 5 boss treasures. But on this page, there's an event, 30 event cards, and they look smaller than these, but not that. They're probably in here. They're probably in here, right? Oh, they are small. Okay, perfect. It just looks like they should be medium based on compared to that, right? I cannot get this going. Sometimes these are so awesome and sometimes they suck. I see where I'm supposed to grab. Oh, there we go. Oh man, I recognize this stuff. Oh man, nostalgia is washing all over me right now. I feel it flowing. Do we feel the nostalgia, everybody? All right, just making sure. Okay. Embers. Okay, we've seen all this stuff before. But if you like loot, okay, this might be another reason why I like this game more than I probably should. You guys know any game that's like loaded with loot, especially loot that I've played with in the video game before and I have like, you know, I bonded with some of it or I recognize it and it has that nostalgic appeal. Just seeing orange and blue dice just make me feel good when I have that equipped and I'm playing with it. Because you just feel so powerful. A little bit of magic damage. Oh my god. Yeah, memories. This is all stuff we've seen before in the game pretty much probably. I doubt there's any new stuff in here. Maybe there is. Obviously for the bosses, I would assume, but these are events, right? I don't recognize this. I don't recognize this. Choose a character. That character can upgrade a stat without spending souls. Is this Matthew? Are these events? Matthew says another great thing about this is they changed that you can use the weapon gems on multiple weapons instead of locking them into weapons. Yes. Life gem. Green Blossom. During the next encounter, when this character runs, they can move any number of nodes without spending stamina. At the end of the next encounter, discard this card. So these are just like little boons and burdens probably, right? Oh, okay. Yeah, this is different. This is new. It just spices it up, right? Forgotten supplies. That's probably not good, right? Choose a character. That character flips all of their character tokens to the ready face. No, that sounds good still. Oh no, you're finding forgotten supplies. I get it. I get it. I get it. Not you forgot your supplies at home. I forgot my supplies next to the keys. Forgot my keys and my sword at home. The next time the party returns to the bonfire, each character can undo any number of their upgrade stats and return the number of souls spent, upgrading them to the soul cache. Once this card's been resolved, it's discarded. Yeah, the rekindling, right? Where you can change what you've been leveling up. Okay, I'm in. This stuff I like. I like what I see. Just spicy little things to add to replayability, little surprise, little dopamine hit as you're playing through. Okay. All right, I don't even want to look at it anymore. I don't even want to look at it anymore. We're gonna experience these as we play. Yeah, I don't need to know them all, but I'm interested. I'm interested. I feel like that's a step in the right direction. This is all just more items. Okay, so here's a stack of items. This is all our items in the game. Like, that's a lot, right? Like, that's a lot. I like that. I like that. I like how there's a place for everything. I like how there's a place for everything. Okay, we put our tall cards on the top to hold those ones down. Yeah, I like this actually. I like it. I don't know, maybe these dice are supposed to go under. I don't know, but whatever, you guys get it, right? Or put them on top. Yeah, obviously there's extra spot. Maybe the dice go in here. Oh, tokens. We need tokens in there, right? Yeah, yeah. We'll worry about all that after. But yeah, I like it. The insert's not complete garbage. But it's like, if the person who designed the insert idea is the same person that decided this idea, maybe they can keep their job. But if they're two different people, hire this person and keep them there, promote them, and they can keep working. This person should be fired, okay? Just to be clear. There's my free business advice for your company. If you do what I say, you will at least sell one more copy of a game in the future, I promise. At least one. That's all I can guarantee, though. Okay, cool. We'll punch out tokens later. I just need to put it all back together so I don't mix them up. Although, I'm assuming these two core sets can be mixed together. Maybe? Maybe? I don't know. But we're going to play them on the channel separate, though. At least to start. But I'm assuming the rules all work. And I'm assuming you can kind of mix. I don't know. I'm assuming you swap out enemies. We'll talk about a bit of the compatibility. Oh yeah, we didn't look at the back of the box, but I read off the website, right? But it's probably all the same stuff that's on the website. It's board game for 1 to 3 players. Take control of either the mercenary, sorcerer, or deprived. As you progress through several chilling and inhospitable encounters, culminating epic boss battle. Yeah. To be successful, you must work together. Explore as long devoid of all warmth and defeat your enemies by learning their attack patterns and weaknesses. But be careful. If a character dies, the game doesn't end, but there will be costs. If even one of you falls prey to bitter cold steel, the whole party must return to the bonfire, and each encounter resets. Use your resources sparingly, learn quickly, and... trademark, prepare to die. Prepare to die. Okay. I don't know. It seems like enough is there to play. But I don't know replayability now just looking at it, but playing Dark Souls enough, like, obviously the expansions added to replayability, more boss boxes and all that stuff, and more characters added replayability. Don't know, so far just looking at value though, thinking of just trying to, what we previously played, what's here. We play 3 players, so only 3 characters to choose from, so we can switch it up, find a favorite character, maybe one of them sucks and nobody wants to play it, that's kind of sad. But we have both, so I'm assuming you can just grab a character from this. So we really have 6 characters to choose from if you just were to buy the new stuff. So let's unbox the Tomb of the Giants. Or Tomb of Giants. The replayability goes along with the encounter cards for me. Yeah, that's really what it is, right? Running through. You're going to fight the same main boss and mini boss, which kind of sucks, right? If you just buy that, I'm just saying, if you just bought one of these, and you're playing through, yeah, the events will change up, but you're still going to see the same like 3 or 4 mini enemy groups, you know, enemy types, maybe 4 or 5, whatever it was. But the boss is what makes it interesting. And once you really learn the boss patterns, I know the boss will switch out cards that you won't see some games, and he'll have different behaviors than others. But yeah, this game was definitely ripe for expansions. So I don't know. Oh man, look at Grave Lord Nito. Look at that guy. Holy. Holy. This on Kickstarter is what sells board games. Literally a miniature like that is what people spend like $500 on a game for. They don't even care if the game's good. They'll buy it just for like miniatures like that. And this was just a retail only game. Tomb of the Giants. Wait. Tomb of Giants? Tomb of the Giants. Which one is it? It is a forsaken and cursed place, teeming with all manner of dread creatures. And venturing this far beneath the earth, best bring a light, lest they find their own extinguished. Those who survive the skeletal horde shall find an ancient evil brooding in the blackness. The first of the dead, Grave Lord Nito. So we got the big, tall, these better be tall, right? The giant skeletons. Oh my god, those were annoying. Hear them clanking and clucking and clacking through the darkness. Oh my god. This area. Like this area in the video game, like so fascinating, like pure darkness. Like you're literally, if you don't have an item to help you see, all you see is like the skeletons lighting up their arrows or whatever, and the arrow, like a big giant huge arrow on fire, fly at you and hit you. But like you don't know where you're going. Like you literally are in pitch black. I played it so much I started memorizing when I had light that I would be able to go through this area and run through it so fast just off memory in pitch black. Pitch black. That's all I remember about it. But man, I just remember falling down in certain areas because you're like, I think I'm in this area, and then you fall down, and all of a sudden it lights up and there's a giant skeleton like right in front of you. Oh my god, so good. So good. Yep. All right. So in this one we get the cleric, the pyromancer, and the thief. Pyromancer, I love me some pyromancer. Okay. 29 unique encounters and everything needed to play. 120 to 150 minutes. Oh boy. Hmm. Yeah. Can't wait to watch Rob play this with his eyes closed. No, I'll just turn out the lights. We'll stream in the dark. We'll stream in the dark, try to figure it out. So same kind of rule book. For some reason they don't want to use the rest of the paper. I don't know why. But whatever. Black Knight, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, giant skeletons. Cards, dice, and tokens. Okay. I'm not going to go through all this. It's all probably the same rule book after this. Oh, no, maybe not. They use different tiles in the pictures. I don't know if there are different mechanics, like, in each version, like spicing it up. Obviously, the bosses will have different behaviors and stuff, and special rules. But I'm sure the overall rules are exactly the same for each set. It's just spicing up the variability a bit. Yeah, yeah, like there's no new condition or anything for this set or anything like that. But I could be wrong. I'm just going quickly, just seeing if anything pops out that's like, oh, that's new for this one. Yeah, defeating the bosses. No special rules for the bosses. Did I miss that? Yeah, maybe. Whatever. Same reference. Same board. Yeah, I got another one of these campaign boards. Okay, same one as the last one. Okay, yeah. Oh my god, this triggers me, man. I'm triggered. I'm triggered. Okay, quickly. Gotta put these away. Putting bad taste in my mouth already. They look better. Like, definitely this, like, graphic design-wise, these boards look like lame, right? It's like kind of looks like lazy graphic design, like your graphic designer just fresh out of college or whatever, or actually high school. This one at least looks like a little sharper, shinier, like better organized. Except for this, I just, man. Serenity now, serenity now. We've got the thief. More tokens. So if you own both sets, you'll wear out your tokens less because you'll have a backup set, right? Of some of them. Heather says, sorry if you already said, do you plan on streaming this one soon? No, Heather. I'm throwing it in the garbage after this, after seeing those player boards, and we're skipping it. We're never playing it. FYI. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, we'll stream it. I just don't know how quick because I don't know if Mel's going to be painting it or not. That'll obviously add time and make it different. And we have other games we want to play, and some of those games I don't know how long they are and how many streams they'll take and how many weeks, and if I want to play them 2-player, 1-player, or 3-player. So that will also add length or when we can fit it in. Okay, we have tiles. These ones look a little more boring, but I mean, that's the area it's in. Again, it's just like caves and darkness, right? As long as it's thematic to the game, I don't care if the art doesn't pop or it looks boring, but it definitely fits the area. Minis. Okay, we gotta cut them. Gonna cut the tape this time. Let's not get held up on it. These skellies look little. Oh, there's bigger ones. Oh, there's bigger ones. So here's our characters. We've seen these before. Obviously, these existed in the game before in an expansion. But again, they might have changed some cards or the player boards or stats or something. I don't know. But man, that thief looks badass. Look at this guy. He is going to cut you if you don't let him get to the loot. He will kill you and your family if you dare touch that treasure chest. Unless the treasure chest is a mimic, go ahead. Go ahead. It's all yours. Okay, we got our little dials stuffed in here. I guess that's the spot for tokens after. Or dials. I don't know. Actually, am I zoomed in? I can zoom in more. Hello? There we go. Yeah, these are like the brittle. No, these are soft, I think. Yeah, maybe it's only the phalanx guys that are the actual brittle. Yeah, these are soft, hot water, bendable swords crap. Yeah, this is not the brittle, nice plastic. The phalanx, I bet the phalanx, they had problems with it, so they went for the more expensive plastic, like that brittle, hard stuff we see in like Descent or whatever. But all the rest of the minis are like the cheaper, hot water, you know, bendy plastic. But at least it's stored in like a nice insert, so it shouldn't bend too much. But yeah, usually the insert's the problem, right? Where it bends the swords and stuff. Like this guy, if his insert's not right, that knife is getting bent every time. Cool. No tape on this one. It's just like nice fit. No surprises. Hold on. Let's compare. I need the little guys. Okay, we got the thief. We got the thief who thinks he's badass. And then the light goes on in the cave, and then you got this guy. Click, clack, 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 clack. Okay, that's awesome. That's awesome. I love how big they are. That is great. That is great. Oh man, so many memories. So many memories. Couple of each of those, and then you got this little guy. This little crawling skeleton beast thing. Look at, he's big too. Oh man, that's nice. That's nice. Okay. All right. I approve of the size and the look of these guys. Man, I want Mel to paint this so bad. Like, oh, look at Gravelord Nito. Oh my god, look at this guy. Look at this guy. Oh, he's so heavy. That's great. That's great. Look at this. My god. All right. Yeah, I'm kind of excited. I'm excited to play. I'll be honest. Then we got the Black Knight. A Black Knight here. That's cool. And again, like the base, you need to have the arc on it, right? Like you gotta, for gameplay purposes, you have to be able to see these bigger ones. The arc and their facing and stuff, and what arc you're in for damage and defense and stuff matters. So you need those lines to be there for gameplay purposes, which I like. Yes, the bases in some base games now have like all the rocks and things and look more detailed, but I don't mind that. That's just for functionality and gameplay. It's good to quickly look and be able to see, you know, the straight line is there. You know where you got to be. You know which way they're facing. I like that. You don't have to pick up the miniature and kind of look at it and figure out, is it facing forward? Is this the front? Is this the back? No, we don't need to play that game. I appreciate that kind of, you know, gameplay over aesthetic sometimes is good. Oh, there's the Black Knight. Remember the first time? I remember the first time in Dark Souls. I don't know the area, but I remember first time running into a Black Knight. You're fighting like weenie enemies. All of a sudden, one of these Black Knights appears. Okay, just one wandering around, and it kicks your butt. And you're like, "What the hell is this guy doing in this area?" Then you like try to avoid him. You're afraid. Then you play a little more, and all of a sudden you realize, like, wait, I can maybe beat this guy. And then when you beat your first Black Knight, you're like, my God, I'm so awesome. But then later in the game, these are like the minions. I love the way it does that in Dark Souls games. The things that are like early game bosses or super hard minions end up just becoming like regular weenies later in the game, which is hilarious, like how it escalates. But yeah, I remember my first, maybe it was a Silver Knight. I don't know. But yeah, my first Black Knight. I feel like he's like down some stairs. He was like underground in some tunnel somewhere. Oh, I remember the area. I can picture it. I think it's like the first time you get like a barrel or a boulder rolling down the stairs on you too, and you're like, oh my god, this game is messed. Yeah, these are just all their behavior cards. So you shuffle them up, like, and you get certain ones, and then as the enemy like heats up, you shuffle in more cards to kind of like change up how they react. So even if you're playing the encounter slowly and you're going turn by turn, you're getting used to how the boss works. Once it gets like down to half damage, you shuffle in like kind of like to simulate the video game and the boss getting pissed, and then starting using new mechanics on you or new attack patterns. Skeleton soldier, archer, necromancer, giant skeleton soldier, giant skeleton archer, skeleton beast. We already looked at the dice. They're the same. They're the same. Little card holder slot. That's good. Extra baggies for tokens. Okay. Oh, there. This one opened nice. Sort of. Oh. So again, these are the encounter cards. So every time you play, you're picking different encounters, shuffling them up. Different things will appear, different enemies on different nodes, different tiles, layouts, special rules, objectives, rewards are different. I definitely like this. I think this is a huge improvement too. But again, we'll play it and see how it goes. But I do like that. We got two more little decks. Hopefully all the items in here are completely different than the other set, right? Because you definitely will have stuff that's unique to the boss. You'll have stuff that's unique to the characters. But I mean the generic stuff. So like obviously you have to have embers and things and gems maybe that are the same or whatever for upgrading and purposes. But I hope it's like all different swords and shields and armor in here, like new things. And we'll spice it up so when you mix it, you're adding more, or you're having a different experience a little bit. New loot. Yeah, Mel says, I wish oaths were on the same lines on the bases. That's what I was hinting at when I was thinking about how like the miniature, you gotta pick it up sometimes and look at it and figure out like what way they're facing, or just make it up, you know? Like, it could be a little more clear. But then obviously the miniatures look better when they have like nice detailed bases. They sell more copies on Kickstarter, I'm sure. So people paint like that better. So yeah, just more. Oh man, pyromancy spells. Oh my god. Covetous gold serpent ring. Nostalgia is flowing. Oh, it's flowing again. Praise the sun. Praise the sun. Dark Souls is back. The sunless armor. No, we need the sun armor. Holy items. I love it though. Loot. Lots of loot. Every time you play, you're finding different loot. Love it. Oh my gosh, so much. Weapons. Oh man. Let's get to the events though. Look at all these items. Some are character specific, some are generic, some are boss, but that's a lot of loot. A lot of loot. And then we have the events. Oh, I'm seeing some that are named the same. Yeah. I'm seeing the same. I bet these event decks are 100% identical. Yeah, that's kind of a missed opportunity. Maybe not. I don't know. Oh, maybe there's some different stuff. Maybe I'm crazy. No, it's the same, isn't it? It's 100% the same, right? Matthew, do you know? Is this event deck 100% the same as the other one? Or like maybe two cards are different? Just scanning through them quickly, it feels like it's like 100% the same. Oh, the loots! Mini number Q says, yeah, he's bent over puking. From this angle, the top left skeleton in the box looks like he had some bad food the day before. Red thinks 80%. Matthew says, I don't know. I haven't gone through both games yet to compare. Okay. Cool. No worries. Well, sorry. I think I just spoiled it for you. You're going to see the same ones. Maybe the text on them's different, but there was a lot named the same. That's it, right? I don't know. So one thing to keep in mind, even though the box is smaller and it's kind of priced the same as like a big CMON game full of minis, like, you know, Massive Darkness core set or something, only having 3 characters versus the usual 6 we see in these kind of board games, and the amount of minions, you know, we only have 2 of each type of minion, not like 4 or 5 like we get in some other games. Like I opened the base game for I just primed it the other day. I spent like a whole day priming miniatures, but one of the games I primed was brain fart. I'm picturing the game. Mel, you might know the game name and can fill it in for me. Oh, I forget. But anyways, just like Massive Darkness, just like some of the, you know, other the sword and sorceries and whatnot. I know some of those games maybe are a bit more expensive than these products are, but yeah, it just seems like there's not a lot of variability in the miniatures. But again, this game is different. It's not about flooding the minis on the board. It's about just like different types in each encounter. Oh, Chronicles of Druganor, right? Yeah. That's the one I was thinking of. Yeah, that came with just like a mass amount of miniatures. But is that overkill? Maybe. It is a different type of game, right? Like it's some dungeon crawlers are more about like quality over quantity. Like, you know, it's not about the spectacle of how many minis can you throw into a space on the board. Sometimes that just gets annoying. Okay. Well. Yeah. Other than the cubes, oh, I have lots of dials, right? Those are just for bosses and stuff, but they had dials in there. Lots of mini cards. I'm just looking at my old stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just the cubes. Is that really the only component-ish difference? And the player board difference? But I mean, it's got minis, got dice, got tokens, got player boards. Just the campaign track, right? That's new. The cards are new. All right. So I have in my notes here some of the different things that I read about. Again, I haven't played. We'll go over it more when we actually play it. But I have it all jotted down here. I have okay. I have campaign works different. You fight like kind of a tile-ish at a time, but now we know it could be 1 to 3 tiles. I have the shopping works different supposedly, but I got to read about it because somebody just made kind of like point form checkpoints, events, boss weapons. Oh, I want to talk about the backwards compatibility too. I have a thing to look at about that. The boss weapons, you now, when you beat a mini boss halfway through the campaign play, you get the final boss's weapons, which is weird. But before you would get the weapons after you beat the boss at the end, basically, which is kind of sucky because then the campaign's over. So this, I think after you beat the mini boss, supposedly you get the mini boss's items and the main boss's items to then choose from if you want to equip or not. And you can use those through the second half of the campaign. You get 3 stamina at the start of your turn instead of, I think, 2 was before, if I remember correctly. There's new rules around defense rolling and dodge rolling. You have equipment and backup slots now are different. Other players move on your turn. So supposedly when it's your turn, I think the other players on the table can move up to 1 space. So it's not like when it's your turn, everything stays frozen as you jump and dance around. They get to react and move based on what's happening on your turn, I think. And then instead of dying when your bar is full at the bottom, supposedly you die when it's full and you go to put another cube, but there's no spot for it to go. In the old version, I know as soon as the bar was full of your stamina and whatever, you would die right away. Oh yeah, I'm an Android user big time. Yeah, I used to program like Android apps and stuff for a fun hobby, playing around, learning coding on Android. I didn't really make any like full apps, but yeah, I was like a huge Android fanboy when it first came out. And yeah, now I know like the cubes. Yeah, where are the cubes? I made a note, where are the cubes? Because when I was looking at the component list before streaming, I was like, where are the cubes? Why are they missing? But now I know why they're missing. They do the stupid cardboard solution. And the FAQ and errata we talked about, price on board game Oracle we talked about. Okay, the only thing left to talk about really is there's something I read about the backwards compatibility I mentioned earlier. They say this is backwards or the old content. So the old board game and all the 1,000 expansions, okay? This game is supposedly backwards compatible with this stuff. So I can go grab expansion stuff and play with this, I think. But then I found this. There's a post on BGG. I don't know if I linked it down below, but I will drop it in the chat right now if you guys want to read any of the extra stuff in here. But somebody said, how exactly is this backwards compatible? I only really read the designer's response, but do they mean the Tomb of Giants enemies can be used with the core Dark Souls board game? Or is there some way not specified in the rulebook that the rest of the Dark Souls board game can follow the new rules from Tomb of Giants? And Kevin, who's just a random dude, says it's not. Whatever. Let's not worry about what he's saying. Let's read. Okay, Sherwin Matthews. And this guy, his name is in the rule book or on the game. Let's just check. Let's check. Yeah, Sherwin Matthews, 100% one of the designers, okay? Just to make sure. Just to make sure. Okay. So Sherwin responds, hey, thanks for the question. The revised rule set you see in Tomb of the Giants and Painted World of Ariamis is indeed backwards compatible. Simply use the rules presented in either rulebook when playing with your older content, such as gaining 3 stamina at the start of your turn, new defense roll rules, and the new rules for equipment and backup slots. The only exception to this are the new campaign systems used in Tomb of the Giants and the Painted World. These use a new dashboard and specific encounter and event cards, which I'm excited to try. As Kevin suggested, we'll be adding new cards as free downloadable content next year, starting in Q1. So we're in Q1 right now. I don't know if they've started this yet. I mean, we're only like January 13th, so we're very early Q1. So expect to see that March or April, you know, start of Q2 probably. For the moment, you can certainly play the older campaign style with the new rules. And going forward, if you wanted to add a mega boss to one of the core sets, simply replace the existing boss or add the mega boss at the end. So you can't do a mini boss? You can't do a mini boss? Only mega bosses? Interesting. And also says it's straying a little into the territory of homebrew, which anyone who's played this game, Dark Souls board game, knows all about homebrewing board games. But you could even try replacing the enemy grunt type with one of the existing models you have if you wanted to during your Tomb of the Giants or Painted World playthrough, and see how that goes too. But again, I go to the product page on Steamforged Games for Tomb of the Giants. I click key features and I read this. Yeah. So it's right now, it might not be fully backwards compatible or even partially, but they are going to have cards you can print to make it. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know, man. I know, Brett, you were saying just a number. I know. I was just joking reading out your number. I know you're tricking me, Brett. I know you're playing along. Just throwing out random numbers. Sean says, like I said before, it's not the player's job to fix the game. I agree with you 100%. I agree with you 100%. That is a huge fail. That is a, you know, kind of crap to put that on the box. I think they put that on there just to, so existing people who already bought all the stuff buy this not worried. But then when they get it, they realize they have to come up with some backward solutions to make it work and house rule it, which kind of sucks. It should say something like, some rules are backwards compatible. But this makes you feel like when it just says it's backwards compatible, you instantly think all the components in here I can use with my old components and just play the game easy. And there's a section in the rulebook to explain how that works and components needed, like an upgrade pack. No, that's not the case. That's not the case. What this should be called is Dark Souls the Board Game 2nd Edition. And it is partially compatible with first edition stuff. But it is not fully, because we've played board games before where a second edition comes out, Descent, Mansions of Madness, and there's upgrade packs that will bring your old components up to speed with new rules and systems. They did not do that here. They did not do that. So this whole line of backwards compatible, yeah, technically, based on what Sherwin said, but it is misleading for sure. Definitely misleading. So again, Steamforged Games doing Steamforged game stuff. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. I knew there'd be some. I didn't scroll down more, but there's some good response. a man wing says to a response to that, it is not compatible. You are a liar, sir. The new sets have no old encounter cards, and you can't even use part of the new cards looking similar to the old cards since they are balanced with extra rules. You also can't use the old enemies since there are no encounter cards in the new encounter form. Also, the map tiles have a different size. The player boards are different. The new ones are complete trash. Oh, wow. Okay, I'm not crazy. I know I'm not crazy. So no, this is not compatible at all. Oh, that's such a fail, right? Sweet Mary, I had to open the box to see it with my own eyes. The map tiles are actually slightly larger. Let me just slide the lid back on the box and open eBay instead. Oh man, harsh. Dark Souls fans, like myself, Dark Souls and board game fans, we are all damaged goods. We have been, like, if you guys wonder why I get negative and like sometimes I'm harsher on a game, publisher, designer, you know, components, systems, I just lose it sometimes and rant and get negative and I shit all over your favorite game because I've been burned like this. This game burned me and turned me from happy board gamer, throwing my money at things. Simon did it too though. These guys aren't alone in this. But happy board gamers, throwing my money at campaigns, expecting promises to be fulfilled, and then you get what you get and you just feel like you were ripped off. Companies have been doing that to me my whole life. That's just a thing in the free market, right? Is, you know, you can market whatever and make a bag of poop seem like the best thing you need to own in your life. And you buy it, you get it, and you're like, it's just a bag of poop. Marketing got me again. But this game has burned so many players in our hobby and have made them skeptical of Kickstarters, afraid to back things, avoiding Steamforged games, IP games. Like there was a point, like IP games aren't always bad. You know, video games kind of ruin that too, right? Making cash grabs from IP games. But yeah, so just understand the fan base of this game are already like, they all are angry. They all feel ripped off. They all feel like they've been burnt. Not all of them, but yeah. Oh. Edward says, oh my, why is this on the channel again? For curiosity, Edward, for curiosity. I want to see if what the community helped them do with this game, the new versions, the new core sets, are they fun little games or are they not? Are they worth the money? Are they not? I'll just do it. We'll experiment. We'll have some fun. I don't know. This is definitely not one of those, here's a great game I found, guys, that you need to check out. This is one of those, like, I'm curious for my own sanity and my own game group. Love Dark Souls, a board game. Let's just play it, see how it goes. Maybe it's fun. Maybe it's junk. I don't know. For the lulz, we'll see. But yeah, maybe I hope to be proven wrong. I hope it's improved. I hope I have fun. I hope this now stands up with other dungeon crawlers. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's a waste of money. Maybe it's a waste of time. I'm sorry. But we'll find out for you, don't worry. Okay, oh, here's something good. Free to play Squid says, thanks everyone for the response. Thank you, Sherwin, for the news on new content. I've been enjoying this expansion a lot, and the new rules and campaign elements address a lot of the issues I had with the old campaign system. I can play more aggressively. I feel much less doomed to fail from the item deck RNG. There's a good variation of objectives besides kill everything. The rewards are greater and more diverse, and shortcuts make the grind a lot more manageable. The only real issue I had was the new stat tracker. The values aren't marked anywhere on the player boards, except where the numbers punch out. This is a huge oversight because now my numbers won't stay in the board. I said this! I knew it! They'll wear out for sure and fall out for sure. They fall out too easily when put back in the box, and unless you have the photos of all the boards, the numbers get mixed up with no indication as to where the default stat values belong, which is why they added that in the FAQ and errata. Other than that gripe, this was a great step forward for Dark Souls the board game, and I can't wait to bring some new life to my old sets with the free updates coming soon. Okay, so if they make that available and we can play with the old stuff with the new systems, like if they really deliver there, then that's great. But again, yeah, we'll see. But here's one thing, playing devil's advocate. As much as you guys say, I see some of this game as a cluster F, you know, and like we're all scorned and like the company is like maybe mistreated people and everyone feels wronged by them. They still delivered. They still delivered the game. And some publishers, some Kickstarters, some designers, some ma and pa teams, some one-man armies out there designing and publishing their board games on Kickstarter and GameFound and all these other places asking for your money. Some of them don't ever deliver. Some of them take your money and disappear. Some of them go out of business. Some of them deliver like complete trash. Some of them deliver half of what they promised, less than half, you know? So at least give them that they didn't go out of business. They still deliver their games. Even in the end, we still got all of our stuff we paid for. It still works. It's still fine. But yes, the community just had to take it over the finish line, right? They just had to like refine the game and make it more playable. And I like the way they admitted here, we worked with the community on this. That's them basically admitting, yes, guys, we're releasing some new Dark Souls products, but don't worry, we didn't just make more of the same. We actually like worked with the community. We know you guys were passionate about the game and wanted to fix it and make it better. I'm pretty sure it's new designers, right? Let's see. Yeah, okay. The original designers, David Carl, Alex Hall, Matt Hart, and Richard Loxham. Matt Hart, Richard Loxham, and Sherwin Matthews. So like, I don't know if like they're just getting credits for the original design or they still work there or what. So there is some original designers involved and a new one. So I don't know, but some of the designers are different. So David Carl and Alex Hall, maybe they got promoted, maybe they left the company, maybe they work on other games. Maybe they're the ones who made the first game really suck. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? We'll see. We'll see. Edward says they delivered ... cool replacement miniatures for other dungeon crawlers. Miniatures for your RPG sessions. But yeah, I just wanted to unbox it. I thought it looked cool. I wanted it to be a good place we could just talk about like our experiences with the game. So now when we get into playthrough, I don't need to go through all that. We could just say, go watch the beginning of the unboxing. It'll be a shorter video because I guarantee our first playthrough will be multiple streams long. Will be pretty long, epic. If we're going to play with Kyle, it'll probably be like 3-ish to 4-ish hour streams at a time. So we'll definitely probably not finish a campaign in one stream. We'll just kind of like play through it and see how it goes. But yeah, I don't know. That's Dark Souls, the board game. The 2 new core sets, unboxed, some discussion, history on the channel for those that are new here. If you want to see this game played, the original version with house rules or without house rules, and 1 to 4 players, again, the playlist is down in the video description where you'll find all past and future Dark Souls, the board game playthroughs, unboxings, videos, all that stuff. That is down there for you. 65, now 67-ish hours of Dark Souls, the board game content on this channel. So it's there. Maybe not the best quality. Some of it's older, but it's there. If you're curious to see how the game goes and you can't wait for the next playthrough, you can go watch it there to get an idea of how the game used to work and then how we used house rules to make it better, which I explained in some of those videos too as we progressed. And if you want to see some of the old expansion stuff. So the problem with this too is going back to these core sets, I'm not getting all the cool stuff that was added in with the expansions, right? So I don't have invaders and the NPCs and stuff to play with. Those I liked and were fun. What else? The mimics and things. What else was added in expansions? I don't even remember. There was like those little side expansions that just added fun things. Like whatever those survivors or whatever, all that stuff. I don't even remember what it all added. But yeah. Rat boss too large for you? Try our snow rat. Oh. Yeah, I understand, Matthew. I understand. All right, well, that's it for today's stream. We're back tomorrow, continuing our playthrough of ISS Vanguard from Awakened Realms. Sunday, we're going to be streaming. The day after that, we're continuing our campaign of Mutant Genesis for the Marvel Comics, Marvel Champions LCG. Playing Scenario 3 for that one. Come check that out. We'll be continuing next week. I don't have it scheduled yet, but we're playing the next episode of our Lord of the Rings Journeys of Middle-earth campaign of Poison Promise on Tuesday with Kyle. That should be scheduled shortly. Could be our last episode of that playthrough. We were threatened that if we lose, it will be the end of our campaign. So hopefully we win and keep it going. But tune in for that. D. Miller showing up just on time. Wow, I missed the whole stream. You did. But yeah, so that's the unboxing. That's my thoughts on Dark Souls board game at this point. Again, please wait. I'll play these. We'll play them on the channel. We'll try them out. We'll give our honest thoughts as we play them. Yeah, just stay tuned for that. So for more Dark Souls, the board game, hit subscribe down below. Hit the like button if you want to see more unboxing / discussions. Again, I'm trying not to just be cookie cutter and copy every other unboxing formula out there and only do them rarely. And when I do them, I want them to have my own spin on them where we discuss things, we talk about things, you know, around the game, the publisher, you know, the past, whatever, and just hang out and chill and just chat. Makes it more interesting. No, it's okay, D. Miller. It's okay. As long as you hit the like button, I'm not mad. I'm not mad. Hit the like button. We're all good. If you miss the stream, at least hit the like. We're all good. I can look the other way. I'll put it on your tab, though. Done. Nice. All right. Okay. Well, that's it for me today. Hope everyone joins the rest of your Friday. We'll be back tomorrow, like I said, back this weekend streaming. Many more streams to come. Thank you for all the support of these names scrolling by here and others who donate to the channel. If you'd like to support the channel to allow me to spend it on great games and maybe games that aren't so great to try out, donate down below. Helps support the channel. Helps improve the equipment. You saw those old Dark Souls streams I was showing you before. Obviously, I've invested money into streaming quality equipment, computers, lights, audio, video, all that stuff. Much investments. Thank you for allowing us to grow. Thank you for allowing me to do this full time or at my own time. I appreciate allowing me to work for myself or, well, really for you guys. Thank you for supporting us here. I appreciate it very much. And I will see you in the next streams. Bye-bye.